Hey, what's going down, guys? Sarius here. Welcome to episode 7. Glad to have you here. We are going to be romping through the Weald, but let's go and recap a little bit of what happened last episode. You can see we got the jump yet again on these bands. And again, Mott Reavers gets a speedy first turn here. Gonna really maximize that flashbang, get a nice stun on the backline. So at this point now, again, it's free-form battle, and you can see just how fast we were able to really take advantage of that surprise. Just a couple little minimal things in this game can really add up to this crescendo. These troubling effigies are beautiful. It's like the game gave us a free holy water just to say, like, hey man, you worked hard, Sarius. Here you go. So I was gonna step and finish the spider off with a beautiful crit for 24 damage. So guys, as you can see, the previous episode we beast moded through the Weald, and we're gonna keep that momentum because we're gonna do our first official medium-based mission, and I'm pretty nervous about this at this point. I remember looking back and being like, oh geez, anything can go wrong, anything can happen here, but we're gonna pull off pretty well. We have a good dream team party. You're gonna see we have Bachelet, our Helion, we have Francois in the second rank, our trustworthy Crusader. We start off with some nice procs here, get some nice mummies to be able to use our bandages on, get some nice quick gold. We're almost going to be at ROI in about a couple more rooms, which is pretty sick, meaning the initial investment we put down into our characters for supplies, torches, that can get pretty costly if you add everything up. I haven't really done the specific math, but 925 gold is a good way to start off, just in case we have to cut our losses and exit and abandon the quest and keep everybody alive, you know what I mean? That whole adage that says, not 2 is 1, but live and fight another day, you know what I'm saying? So again, I'm going for more of a safer approach, guys, because I do care about my characters. I want to make sure that these guys are mission ready. We try to take care of everyone we can. The ones that slip through the cracks that are like stealing items and doing bad things, you know what I mean? If we can't correct the behavior and they're just piling on negative traits, we're gonna have to eventually let them go. It's kind of like a band, if you will. If you have a band of people and some members just aren't working out, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that. But I really want to keep it into the aspect of trying to be a fair landlord in a way. If you want to talk like, you know, I'm earning this inheritance played with evil, and I want to take care of the people that are working for me, you know, as a way to kind of honor the vigilance of a warrior, you know, like that. So we get into a mini boss battle. I guess they call these mini bosses with the big guy with the whip. The reason why this is called a mini boss is because this guy with the big whip, he actually takes up 2 full slots. And this is something that bosses also have, where if you have a melee character that's only restricted to hitting the first front lines, the first 2, and you can't hit the third and fourth line, you're going to be in big trouble. So you're going to actually see this as we proceed into the boss battles. I'm very excited to bring you along on this one. But you can see Francois here has Holy Lance, which is outright amazing. I love this ability. It allows him to lunge up like a ninja and just like strike very quickly. It's almost like a fencing move, how quick it goes. And it has a very high crit base, which is pretty nasty in terms of some of the boss battles where you are relying on crits to reduce your stress. So it's going to be pretty badass, dude. I'm really excited about this. I can't believe that I'm making videos again and in such a passionate way. It seems like February has just been a great year, and it's like 2015, baby. Great month of a great year, rather. I kind of stumbled on words here. Bachelet, I've fallen in love with Bachelet, seriously. I like have a serious crush on her. She is amazing, dude, in terms of her damage potential. She whiffs, but again, that's so forgivable because when she hits like a freaking truck, dude. And again, Vestal, you know, you can't beat our Vestal. I love the party cleric. People have been saying, you know, sorry, you don't need a cleric on all these missions, dude, you know what I mean? But for myself, the way that I'm playing to reduce all forms of damage, to really reduce the amount of risk that we're doing, you know, again, I'm very thorough in how I have to proceed with this. I've done some really stupid things. I know that you guys have seen that in the Weald with the Jester. I had no idea what the heck I was doing, but I'm learning as I go, and I think it's just, look at this loot here. We got more bandages for more corpses if we find them. We found some more gold here. This is great. Things are going very well here, and as you can see, just, I like to play it smart. I like to play it just careful and make sure that we're treading lightly, because again, you know, you never know what's going to be around the corner. Cytoplasms, well, again, we got a nice surprise proc. Got a nice little beefy heal there, not too bad. Everybody's patched up, full, ready to go. A little bit of bleed damage, but again, it's so negligible, it's not even funny. And going for Blight is a really tricky thing, especially against these Jellos here. They're very resistant against it, but that's not going to matter too much because, again, we have really a strong frontline force to be reckoned with. And I'm looking at the Helion when I say that because she has this breakthrough ability, which is an essential, it's indispensable. Vestal follows up with a nice kill. Now we're down to 1 lemon lime jello, which again, like I said, our Helion just like shrugs off like it's not even a big deal, which is pretty awesome. So unlock strongbox. Luckily it wasn't trapped. Got a bloodied fetish here. I just am like, you know, no, I don't want to have see what disease resist does is that keeps a barrier eventually so you don't get negative quirks and nasty stuff like the shakes and bad stuff that'll actually reduce your accuracy. There's some really bad ones out there that will permanently screw up your character if you don't deal with it. So it's always, I wouldn't ever want to risk, you know, having diseases on my characters that are going to put them out. I need to put them in the sanitarium to keep them patched up. It's just, it's too costly, and it takes too many of your good characters away from you. Okay, so basically here's my game plan here. I see a lot of gamers out there that are doing these no light torch runs, and the reason why no torch is a good thing, it's basically what happens, you get better loot, enemies are harder, you do get more stress inflicted on you, but you come home with easily 3 to 4 times more gold than you normally would. My characters, I know, are not ready for this type of environment, so my goal is going to be to try to be able to mitigate as much threat as possible. I want them to prevail, level them up, and then later on when they have better stuff, then we might be able to, you know, start doing some of that tricky stuff. But for now, it's an advanced level technique that I don't want to risk my characters losing them, because I'm going for a survival run. I want everybody to survive as much as possible. Hopefully that'll be the case. But again, you know, anything can change. Now, again, it's so early in the mission that this is where you're going to have problems. You have to really manage your inventory. And I'm trying to see if there's any way that I can be able to rearrange my stuff, throw away stuff I don't need to be able to pick up as many gems as possible. Because we're going for gold here, but we're also going for heirloom items like the crests, things like that. Because that is the key to upgrading and expanding our keep to make it work. You know what I mean? Increasing the stagecoach size. It takes crests, busts, whatever you will, portraits, all this kind of stuff. So anything that you're dealing with. But look at the gold we're making already off the bat. It's already just the first 5 rooms or so, 6 rooms now down under our belts. Not a whole lot of engagements that we haven't been able to pull out of with just minimal amounts of damage. Everybody's holding together. We've got some great tactics going on. Our light level is high. We're finding torch sconces all over the place. Like, seriously, it's like some hermit just put there, some prophetic hermit just sat there saying, there's going to be a party of heroes coming through this way. I must, hi-ho, staple these down to the ground. So it's been working phenomenally. You surprised yet another group. We're almost halfway done with the entire quest. We haven't even used our camping ability yet. Everybody's stress is relatively low. Our health is almost topped off. And now we're picking these guys off like flies left and right, and which is a really awesome thing. Francois with a nice 7 proc damage there. Doing a really good job. And Bachelier right here does miss, but this turns out to work in our favor, because I do notice that our cleric is starting to accumulate a little bit of unnecessary stress. So what I'm going to do for is I'm going to retaliate, have the maggots stunned, and now we got a couple more rounds here of just basically buffing ourselves, getting ourselves ready to really kill it in one shot. And this is important. Now what I'm doing here is trying to prolong the fight so that way I can get Francois' attack to proc right here. Yeah, this is right here, the rallying cry, to be able to take off about 4 stress, which actually goes a long way. So right now we're just going to finish up. Vistal finishes it off, and we're on our way, guys. So as we wrap everything up in that battle, we're going to be proceeding further into the eastern door here. These are stats rooms. They're always pretty much guarded by a lot of enemies. Most of them are really tough, so you got to be real careful. And right here we encounter a pack of 4 rabid gnashers. Now these guys are nasty opponents. The reason why is because they do have a decent amount of speed. They also have a good amount of dodge, which means they're going to be dodging left and right. We do get the jump on them, but that advantage is going to be brief and momentary, because we're starting to whiff our shots. We're going to fall into a battle of attrition. You're going to slowly start seeing this happen, where the scale starts tipping in their favor. Right here, you can see we missed crucial shots. The plague grenade missed. We have Francois missing his shots here, and now they have the ability to attack us back. They also can cause bleed out, which will slowly drain us as well. And overall, things aren't looking too pretty here at this point. So you got to be real careful in how you press your advantage. So our Plague Doctor got a lucky Blight proc right there on the last enemy, sealing its fate. It's going to be out of the fight, so anytime it moves, it's dead. Vistal finished up with a nice kill on the midline enemy, and right here you can see that our support characters are our rock stars for this battle. They're hitting shots that our front tanks can't even come close to. Look at this whiff. Francois, come on, baby. Can you do this? Can you clutch like Reynolds? Come on, babe. Whiff. See what I'm saying? No good, no good. So now they're getting some free attacks, and it gets really annoying. Now it's a crit, so now people's stress is starting to go up. And you can just see the battle of attrition right here. This is where if you don't kill them fast, you're going to start getting yourself into a losing state. Because now we're bleeding, we're taking damage, we're taking stress damage. Right here, boom, hitting our shots, man. Getting a nice blight right there. Forsaking the second line right there, baby. Got a nice heal there. You can see the Vistal and Plague Doctor, like I said, they are really clutching for us at this moment because we can't hit anything. Now that is partially my fault. I should have buffed, whiffs again, should have buffed her adrenaline rush so that we should get an accuracy up and damage up. Wasn't thinking properly. Finally, Francois is going to get a nice shot there on the front line, and they're both bleeding out right now, but this battle we probably could have saved about 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds of continuous fighting. You know what I mean? And there you go. Blight does take its effect. The ticking time bomb goes off. It's gone. And now it's all up to Bachelet. Come on, baby. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it with fire. Finally, Poleaxe goes off. She's dead. Alright, so that battle was very, very frustrating. We do have full inventory, so inventory management is going to start taking its toll on us, especially for mid to long based expeditions. So I'm going to go and pop this torch off, since get as much light as possible, drag the gold in right quick. The full stack is about, I'd say, 1,500, which is pretty awesome. And now, right here, I'm going to use the holy water on the fountain to restore a grip of stress relief for a Vestal. You can see that she's considerably better. She only has 4 stress now. Everybody's pretty much evened out. We got a little bit of bleed damage, but really not too much. We can literally walk it off. It's not going to be a big deal at all. And we're proceeding forward. Things are looking a lot better. And when things are looking good, again, the enemy just appears out of nowhere. And I love Murphy. God darn it, Murphy. So here we are, guys. Murphy's Law kicking in. These guys, you can see how fast they are. Look at this crit, dude. Oh my gosh. Luckily, it didn't disperse through the entire party. But here's another crit, guys. This is what I'm talking about. Luck is just going off the charts here. They're stacking bleed up, trying to anyway, on our Plague Doctor. She's having none of it. So her health is low and she's bleeding out, which has me particularly worried at this point. And seeing that the enemy does have a high dodge rate, I said, you know what, why don't we go for something that has a very good chance of proccing. Let's go ahead and heal herself of her bleed out effect, and that'll make it easier for our medic to do her job and keep everybody patched up. Francois can step in with a nice 9-roll damage, just about killed it in 1 shot, but that's not a big deal because our Helion is going to step in there and follow up with a nice axe blade here. Does a lot of damage to the 2 rows here. About, I'd probably say, a quarter down. We just have to keep going forward. Our heal procs for the maximum of 2, which is pretty sick. Everybody's starting to get patched up. And slowly we're going to get ourselves rolling. Resisted that bleed. Helion's doing a good job now. And now she can go on the offensive since she has cured her bleed, which is awesome. Unfortunately, Blight does not proc, but that's not a big deal because, again, our Plague Doctor just set that up for our Helion, and now Francois with the coup de grace in the fight. Boom. Man, that was a pretty intense battle there. So guys, things are going off without a hitch. We are beast moding right now, and if you really look at the amount of rooms that we've scouted so far, we only have 6 more to go, and we haven't even used our fire log yet. This means that we are making great progress. The stress is dispersed pretty evenly among our party, which is very minimal at best. We're going to probably be mission ready for another adventure yet again, just by embarking off the finish of this one, which is pretty amazing. That's something that you want. That's probably the best case scenario that this game can provide you, is that your troops don't need any time to be able to recover or get some R&R. They're just going to be so fresh from beasting things. Now we have a statue room to the direct west, a treasure room to due south. So I said, let's go west and try to serpentine our way around this area. And sure enough, that was a pretty smart idea. Unfortunately, our Vestal is going to take a little bit of stress damage as a result of not disarming that trap. I didn't want to get our Crusader involved because I didn't want a negative buff on him. He's going to be our meat and potatoes guy, slashing enemies left and right. And I certainly wanted to enter this battle fresh and ready because you're not really sure what kind of enemies you're going to face. Sure enough, dual stress nukers towards the back. These guys are hella dangerous. And then we have the fungal corpses to the front. They're very nasty. They've got some bad groping swipes that can really get you in bad places. And right here, we have the first jump. We have the first attack. Everybody gets a free turn, which is absolutely amazing, and we're going to capitalize on this. Plague Doctor gets a lucky proc here, so she's going to be moving forward, hopefully disorienting, pulling her from the back to the front. Acolyte's in front now, ready to rock and roll is Bachelet, but instead of swinging, I'm going to say, you know what? Up your accuracy. You've got to be prepared for this. So she's going to end up losing a little bit of a time, losing a little bit of that edge to buff herself. But it's a free buff, which is awesome. It's going to last a couple rounds, and it's going to allow her to really get some maximum damage in. So right here, I'm thinking about what Francois should be doing. I say go ahead and get that backline tanky guy. Didn't work, resisted the sun, but that's not a big deal because Bachelet's going to be swinging yet again. And look at that beastly crit. Brings everybody's stress down, which is absolutely amazing. Kills her outright. Gonna try for an Eldritch push, but the Acolyte does fail, and at this point, Reynolds gonna be picking up damage. Look at that Holy Lance stepping forward. Boom, leaping like a ninja from the shadows and just ending her life very quickly. So now we have 2 fungal pods to worry about. They got a lucky crit, which brought her stress just a little bit up, but nothing to really write home about in terms of how dangerous it might be. Battlefield Medicine, what do we do? Noxious Blast? I figured Noxious Blast would be a good thing. Blight did proc against these mushrooms. I figured they'd be resistant against it. Got a nice party heal by our Vestal. Things are looking up. And right now, you just got to be real careful about their groping swipe. It's a very, very dangerous attack. Has a decent crit chance for my battles in fighting these guys. And again, our heals are going off without a hitch. We're just about topped off on health. And now I'm going to try to be able to disperse a little bit more damage to the back row, get some blight on him. Sure enough, it did pop off, so now both of them are bleeding out with some blight. Our Helion with a nice dodge there. Francois isn't going to get so lucky this round, but he's going to answer back with a strike of his own in just a little bit. You can see only 4 HP isn't anything to write home about. He's going to answer back with his own little attack called Smite. Right in the face, dude, cutting the mushroom down to size. As you can see now, 1 enemy left. Everybody's doing pretty well. Stress is pretty low. And I'm like, you know what should I do? Should I go for the hack? Boom, go for the hack. 12 damage. That's a big roll right there. And now this has forsaken any chance of that fungal doing anything else. So I'm like, okay, so what do we do? I'm going to try to move her to the back. Didn't work. I was trying to get our Vistal to heal everybody, but it's no big deal. We got a big pile of loot here. You can see our gold is just ever increasing. And now it's a little bit about inventory management. I'm not really sure exactly what I want to throw away. So I'm like, maybe I should get rid of the Blade Fetish. I just don't like the disease resist. So I'm like, yeah, go for it. I need that dull stone anyway. And right here, look how lucky this is. An awesome fountain right here to really reduce our stress. So I click on it real quick, and because I don't have any holy water, I'm going to go ahead and actually just use it. And boom, it actually reinvigorates her. Takes a little bit of stress off. You can see she's only down to 2 stress now. Absolutely amazing. If you talk about just like the amazing things that happen in this game. So at this point, guys, all we have to do is go due south and basically button hook to our east and then just keep going forward, and we're going to complete the mission without a hitch. Everybody's doing so well. And I'm really excited about this because this is probably the first playthrough on a medium map that I've done that I've been like, oh my gosh, things are really going smoothly here. You know, it's kind of dangerous, especially when you camp, because sometimes you can actually get assaulted in the nighttime and your light's 0, enemies are pretty strong, and it can get you in some serious trouble. So it's amazing how much risk there is in this game, but there's also so much reward as well. I was able to find a couple deeds here, super awesome, because that's going to help us upgrade the manor. We're moving forward, charging forward valiantly, and now, oh, just a bunch of spiders. Not a really big fight here. I was expecting a little bit more, and I'm not really sure if I was underwhelmed, but again, we're not going to lower our guard because these guys could wipe the floor with us if we're not careful. So again, a nice stun proc on one of the red apple spiders. Web does proc, so she is going to be marked at this point, so hopefully the green spider isn't going to do what I think she is. Yeah, oh, look at that 8 roll. Such a big chunk of damage there. Marked. You have blight. Bad stuff's happening at this point, so I'm like, let's totally get her off of that blight effect. She answers back with a beastly attack right there, going all in with the breakthrough, dodges the green spider, and now at this point, the battle is now in our favor. We've seized control of this. And hopefully we're going to be able to get a little bit of damage. Yeah, Plague Doctor goes right in. Boom. Takes her out in quick succession. And right, oh, look at that beastly Francois. Good job, my friend. Good job, my friend. So that was a really good run. We killed a bunch of spiders. We got some deeds, guys. Tons and tons of gold. And you can see here we also have an heirloom chest to open up. Let's pop a little key in there, see what happens. And boom, hidden component. Got more gold. We also have a nice one of those little gems or whatever you call it, and a healing armlet, which seems like it might be good, but I've never played with a leper here in this playthrough. If I see one, I'm going to recruit them right away because they're actually really cool. They do some good damage, although their accuracy does suffer quite a bit, guys. So yeah, the toughest thing about this is when you have a full and maxed inventory, you have a bunch of gold, and you're not sure what to throw away, so you're trying to like size up items and get the value of them, and you're like, should I really use these deeds? Do I really need this, or should I wait for the next round? And it gets kind of harrowing, so I don't know, maybe there might be a feature in the future to get backpacks for additional inventory space. You can upgrade yourself, you know, that'd be pretty awesome, considering we have 4 explorers and we can only hold like 8 stuff. Pretty bad. So we're scouting forward. We got a lucky proc there. Notice that we don't have a whole lot of engagements. I wasn't too excited about the torch sound, so I'm like, we need this just as much as a sock at this point. But right here you can see that we have some citrines hidden in there. So I'm like, yeah, dude, another 250 gold. I'm totally down. We're gonna throw away our skeleton key over here, grab the loot, because none of the items that you're using as catalysts are gonna stick with you on the next mission. I know it's kind of weird, you know, but it does make you plan your missions, and you're gonna have a little bit of bleed out in terms of preparations. So guys, thanks again for tuning in. Our run went absolutely phenomenally. We didn't even have to use camping supplies. But this is Sarius. I'm going to be signing out. If you like this video and you want to see some more, please do me a favor. Support the video, support the channel, share the video with a friend, and if you want to subscribe, that's an added bonus. I'll see you guys on the flip side. This is Sarius signing out. I love y'all. Peace out. And definitely hit me up if you have any more comments on stuff you want to see. Rock steady.